This is the story of Nick, an ordinary man whose life completely changes after buying an old mansion. At first, Nick only wanted to loosen the soil in his new backyard, but suddenly, his shovel struck something huge, a massive coffin. At first, he felt it was ominous and unlucky, especially since he had spent his life savings to buy this house. Torn between fear and curiosity, he pried open the coffin lid and was shocked. Inside, there wasn't just a corpse, but piles of US dollars stacked high. Trembling with both fear and greed, Nick carefully pulled out a bundle of notes. When he confirmed they were real, his fear slowly gave way to greed. He quickly covered the coffin with soil again and hid the money in his storeroom. The very next morning, his greed didn't let him rest. He returned to the backyard, dug up all the cash, and roughly counted it. To his amazement, there was over $3 million. Overnight, Nick began to see himself as a millionaire, believing his life had suddenly turned around. But this was only the beginning of his troubles. Strange noises began disturbing his nights. Sometimes it was the cry of a cat outside, sometimes footsteps inside the house. At first, Nick thought it was a thief, but every time he checked, no one was there. Fear crept into him, yet he kept rushing to the storeroom to check on the money. Every time he found it safe, he felt relief, but his fear and paranoia kept growing. Gradually, strange signs appeared. His hands were covered with soil and his feet with mud, as if he had unknowingly gone to the grave at night. Inside the house, mysterious footprints appeared that didn't match his shoes. Suspicion consumed him, but his attachment to the money was so strong that he dared not tell anyone. Nick's condition worsened. He installed cameras and bright floodlights all over the house, determined to uncover the truth. During this, he discovered a secret room where several human bodies were wrapped and stored. Now he realized the mansion he had bought was not just haunted, it was a house of horrors. But telling the police would mean losing the money. He chose silence. Things spiraled out of control. The noises, the shadows, and even the corpse in the coffin seemed to rise and stand at times, lost his sanity, and turned violent. He began suspecting everyone, his neighbor, his best friend, even his son-in-law and daughter. To protect the money, he murdered them one by one and hid their corpses in the secret room. Ultimately, Nick's greed drove him completely insane. In the end, he climbed into the coffin himself, while his son-in-law and daughter died of hunger and suffocation in the secret chamber. The story teaches us how greed can blind a person to the point of destruction. Money that doesn't come from honest means never brings peace. Instead, such cursed wealth only leads to ruin and death.